So we'll call to order, and I think we have to do the pledge first. Yep,
Yes.
very good. Thank you. Okay, ready. I pledge
I pledge
allegiance
allegiance to the
To the flag
flag of the
of the
United
United
States of
States of
America
America,
and to
and
the
to the republic
republic for
for
which
which
it
it stands,
stands, one
one
nation,
nation,
under
under
God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with
with
liberty
liberty
and
and
justice
justice for
for
all.
all.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay.
Just a note, in case I get interrupted, I have having my dishwasher removed and installed. So unfortunately, they arrived shortly before this meeting. I apologize if I need to step away.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Shall we just, as we've done in the past, go through the mission statement and goals of the committee?
Yes, I have that here.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Our mission statement, the duly appointed Newbury Lower Green Local Historic District Study Committee is responsible for conducting an investigation to determine the desirability and feasibility of establishing a local historic district inclusive of the Newbury Lower Green, considering the historic significance of all buildings, structures, features, sites, or surroundings that would be included in such proposed local historic district. Our purpose and goal: to protect the historic Newbury Lower Green and the natural and built environment surrounding it for future generations to enjoy and experience the visual sense of the past history of our town. A Lower Green Local Historic District will create neighborhood stabilization and community pride and forever provide Newbury school children with a playing field and educational opportunities. The intent of this local historic district is to maintain and improve the settings of those buildings and places and to encourage new designs compatible with existing buildings in the district.
Very good. Thank you very much. Okay. Um, approval, review and approval of the minutes of the last meeting.
So moved.
And can we have a second on that?
Sorry, I was muted. Seconded.
Okay. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Sorry about that. Second.
Okay. Great. Right. Okay. Next is the study report updates, which includes some text changes and the map changes. Ellie, done.
I can, yeah, give a quick update. I updated the map to the boundary to demonstrate or include the Dole Little Burial Ground, Dole Pasture Burial Ground. There we go. But exclude the rest of Evergreen Cemetery. I used maps that Mr. Plummer sent us, very thankfully, very, very helpful, as well as the Macros map that we had previously looked at. I also revised the section for Evergreen Cemetery. Robin, you sent me a copy that I sort of tweaked a little bit here and there to better illustrate or demonstrate what specifically is being protected and why, as well as the ownership and caretaking of that burial ground. So that was all in it's within the study report, as well as PDF and image and just about any type of copy you might want for the local historic district boundary, which is available on the Dropbox for next week's public hearing. I think that would be really good to have some printed copies of that. My other update regarding the study report is to do with the bylaw. We are on the town warrant. We are on the town agenda for town meeting next month, but there was a little bit of confusion about the process. because it had been so long since town council had looked at it. It seemed that it was a bit forgotten with the town administration that we had actually gone through those steps. So
Right.
Robin and I worked with the town to make sure that we are in fact on that warrant.
Right.
If nothing changes. Now, if anything needs to be changed regarding the study report, the boundaries, the bylaw, exclusions, anything that comes out of next week's public hearing, we will not be able to be on this town meeting's agenda because there is not enough time for the warrant to be amended. So
dear.
that is the slight caveat. Unfortunately, just be aware because we are too close to town meeting. So we shall see. After Monday, we should reconvene and have a discussion about the viability or feasibility of moving ahead this year.
Yep.
Unfortunately, the alternative is next year.
Right. I mean, it would be a shame to lose it, bearing in mind it's the America 250 celebration, and to have this sort of tie-in with the 250 would be good. But yeah, I think we've done everything we can possibly do to move it forward at the town meeting. You know, we made amendments to the plan and everything else. So let's just go ahead and
Robin, I give every month, I give a report to the Historic Commission on progress, what we're doing. And I presented the change. I actually did a little drawing of what the map would look like with the new the Evergreen Cemetery, and there's no issue there at all. Everybody's fine with that. Just to let you know.
Right. Okay.
The town council, just a further note, did review the take another look at the bylaw because it had just been a little bit, and they had very few comments. I think I deleted one extraneous sentence at the end of one section per their request, but I did have to decide and make an executive decision as to how many members the Historic District Commission would be comprised of. Our previous bylaw language said 5 or 7 per MHC guidelines. We had to choose. Given the size of Newbury and the proposed local historic district, I chose 5 to hopefully allow for more quorum and people to serve on that district commission. I understand, Lon, am I incorrect, but that the Historical Commission is comprised of 6 members at the moment.
Yeah.
Lon?
We wouldn't have to bring everybody over.
No.
It's just,
and also 6 is not we had to pick an odd number. So I wanted to kind of,
right.
Yeah.
Right.
But the Historic Commission, the Newbury Historic Commission, has volunteered to serve initially as the local Historic District Commission, if that's approved by the select board.
Select board,
If
yeah.
the
But
select
we are
board-
allowed one resident as well.
Or if the select board has 3 and they need 2 more, the people on the individuals on the Historic Commission are willing to start out and then rotate out as new people come in.
Ellie, I think that you made the perfect decision. Your executive function is firing on all cylinders as usual.
Good, thank you. And keep it moving along there. So yes.
And Ellie, did we had no comeback from the planning board, did we, on any matters arising, did we?
I mean, I hadn't heard anything. No, I don't believe that they had any constructive criticism or comments other than support for the report, which is great.
Okay, good. That's excellent. Okay, so we're effectively, because the next bit's is obviously very important, because up till now the report is still a preliminary report. So after the town hearing, we go into the final report, which will encompass any changes, or may encompass any changes. So moving on, turning to the public hearing, which is scheduled for next week. Firstly, I think what we were going to do, I mean, it does lay out certain things we should be doing, but it's going to start with a presentation as a PowerPoint presentation, go through the history of how the committee was set up, its outreach to all the residents, their input, and photographs and everything else will go in there. And also, I think we have to explain what exactly is a historic district and why it matters because there may be people who attend there who've not been necessarily involved in the process. So I've got sort of all sorts of notes on that. The other thing is we have to put down, because the final report has to have has to embody any matters arising from the public hearing. Quite clear of that. So, and again, I think if there are any that cause issues such as Ellie's mentioned, we'll have to have a quick meeting, schedule the next meeting fairly soon after that, so we decide what needs to be done. But I think we go ahead as exactly as planned, and assuming it's all going ahead all right. So who is who from the committee is going to be at the public, can be at the public hearing, apart from me, obviously? So is that
Okay. Yeah.
okay?
Ellie, as we've discussed, will not be there.
You can't be making it. Okay, well that's enough to keep to get us going. So between now and then we have to tidy up the presentation report, and I think Lon, you've made headway on that, taken off the previous one we had, which I think is this one here. Yep, the one we used in May, which looks pretty good. I'd like to sort of, for impact purposes, it'd be quite good to remind people how we got here from way back before, about 10 years ago, when the Bushy estate was demolished over a weekend, pretty well without much of a hearing or anything. And it'd be quite good to have a photograph of the Bushy house as it was, with the land around it. And there's a good aerial one I've seen. If Lon, you haven't got the actual one of the building with the barns. And,
I think Russ sent that to us.
Right,
Didn't
he did, yeah. To show what was there, which was, and it was one of the focal houses in the area, and sadly it's gone. But anyway, that's
not only that, but Mrs. Bushy is an important figure in Newbury's history. I mean, she was a founding member of Society for the Preservation of New England Antiquities, and saving the 4 houses around here, and
very good point. Yeah, I think we'll do that, and then we'll go through the all the other aspects we covered in the report to the select board. So I think we just bring that report up to date, and if Lon, we can get together with it after this meeting, just to
and Robin, the other thing I did is when we were trying to save that property, purchase that property that eventually went to Greenbelt after we'd purchased it. While we were doing that, we got letters of endorsement from 9 or 10 agencies around here supporting nominating the Lower Green and the region around here as an endangered area. Anyway, and what I've done is I've pulled quotes out of each of their letters. It didn't seem to make sense for me to I guess we could put all the letters on one thing where you couldn't read them, but I pulled quotes out of each one of them for the slides.
Great.
I think also we'll have the letter written by trustees in full, we'll have it as a handout to give to anyone who wants to read the full text at the
That's
meeting,
great.
together
Okay, I
with the
can-
letter from the Massachusetts Historic Commission, which I think is a very well thought out letter as well, giving their sort of blessing to the go ahead of the whole committee. So we'll have those as well.
So
And-
I have a question about the report itself. Now, will we have a QR code or something where people can go in and read it? I mean, I know that at the moment it's a preliminary report, it's not set in stone, but I'm thinking that the people that come to the public hearing on Monday will possibly want to read the report, or once. So I spoke with the editor of the Daily News about putting in, the article about what we're doing, and he suggested that I not put in something about the public meeting, that I would write a letter, an as I see it column, basically an editorial closer to town meeting, so that it puts it puts it on people's radar. But I'm sure that once that's done, people will want to read the report. That's a comment of mine. Can we
do that? Yes,
address that, or
Yeah.
Ellie, what do you think on that?
So the preliminary study report is available on the town website, so it is available for public viewing. I need to update the copy that's on there with the current boundary, and I can do that today. So if someone wants to create a QR code for next week's public hearing, that and maybe, I don't know, would the idea be to print QR codes or have it on a slide, maybe put it on the presentation or something? Versus just having our webpage link on a presentation slide saying here's where you can find it. I'll leave that to you. I am not able to help create a QR code, unfortunately, before public hearing on Monday. So I will leave that to Lon, I think is heading up the presentation.
Yeah. I know how to do that, Ellie, so I can do
Okay.
that, and we could have a little poster when people come in, real easy to make with a QR code right on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whereas you have to walk past it to get into the meeting. That's easy.
Right. Now,
Can
everyone,
I ask a quick question just about the newspapers? I, them being not being local, don't see the local newspapers. Was there in fact notices for the public hearing on Monday? Okay,
Yes.
okay, those
Yeah.
actually did come. I know we sent them, but good to know that they were confirmed. And same with the mailers. Did you guys all receive?
Yes.
I know Historic New England did, but okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Good. That is great. Just making sure that we are in fact ticking those MHC boxes for process.
Yeah.
Good.
The other thing is I got copies of the actual report and I handed over to all the residents in the area.
Wonderful.
So they've actually got copies. But I think because we've updated the map, we ought to have spare maps separately just to hand out at the report as well. Just photocopy some off. If you can do them, I'll get them done if you send them. Okay.
Sorry.
They're on. They're on
just
the
the map
Dropbox.
bit because
they're all in the Dropbox, Robin. You can
They
choose
are,
what
okay,
you might.
okay.
Yeah, I've got color ones, black and white ones, one with
Yeah.
numbers on them, one without numbers on them, one with there's a whole slew of options for you for visual clarity to choose from. But yeah, they're in PDF and a couple of them are in JPEG.
I don't want people sort of having got the report and we've made changes to it.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
And without having to give them to print off a whole nother report, I could just say these are pages. Okay, right.
I've read the entire report, once again. I mean, the preliminary report. It is so well done. I have to say, kudos. I mean, far be it from me to be self-congratulatory, but I mean, this is a really nice. It's really well done, and I'm very proud of this document. I mean, thank you all. I think it's very well done.
Thank you for those comments. They apply to all. It was a team effort. So,
A long one too. This has been several years in the making.
yeah. Okay. So next a point is because is to invite any other viewers to participate in our meeting today with any other comments they have. So if there are any, as I see, we have a few additional. Yes, Sheila, you have to unmute.
Hello,
Yeah.
I'm Sheila Spalding. I just wanted to introduce myself. I am
Yeah.
the new site manager at Spencer Pierce Little Farm, and I am the site manager for four sites within Newbury: the Dole Little House, the Coffin House, the Sweat Ilsley House, and Spencer Pierce. I just
Right.
wanted to say hello, and I'm here in support, and I would like to
Welcome.
thank you all for your work.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
And you've seen the report, I presume, or you've got a copy of it.
I do have a copy of it. I need to read it. I
Okay.
plan to. Yeah, I'm sorry. We're gearing up for the season here, but I did download it.
And by the way, Sheila, you're meeting with the owner of the Dole House and two of the Plummer houses in this meeting. So well, yours was both a Plummer house and a Dole house.
Yeah. Yes, mine is the Plummer Dole House. And Mr. Plummer, I'm actually going to keep the two M's, because if we change things to Plumer, I think it'll really muddy the water. How do you feel about that?
Oh, that's up to you folks.
Okay. I just
I mean,
wanted you to feel respected that we heard what you said about your ancestors, but I think around here everything is Plummer with the two M's. And if we change anything to Plumer, Plumber with the one M, I think people will, I think.
Well, actually, just for my input, all of those places were known with 1M plumbers.
Right, right.
With the 2M plumbers, I don't know, people may have to research a little further, but I've always known them as 1M. But it's okay. You're not going to offend me one way or the other.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Bill, I will make sure you get a copy of the revised map. But I think we've discussed it in full that we've taken on board all the relevant facts, for which we thank you for bringing us up to date.
Sure.
Good.
You're welcome.
Good. Excellent.
I see you're speaking to us from the Artemis. Is that right, Mr. Plummer?
Say again?
You're speaking to us from the Artemis? From outer space?
I am, yes. I'm actually on the Artemis right now. I plan to land at about 8:07 tonight.
Best of luck with your reentry. Yes.
Hope I don't burn up.
Right.
Amazing that 50 years have passed since we've been out there, huh?
It is amazing.
I remember sitting in Back Bay watching the first step on the moon in '69.
Yes, I remember that myself.
Right. Indeed. Okay, right. Moving on. Additional business. Anyone got any further issues? Yes, Mr. Plummer.
So, as far as the cemetery goes, where the Dole burial ground will be part of the historic district.
Yes.
I'd like to know what kind of rules or what kind of permissions that you folks would need to sort of oversee, if any.
No,
at
that
some
would be up
point.
to you. That's up to you. That because you already have restrictions and guidelines put in for that part, as I understand it. Am I correct?
Well, we have kind of guidelines that we go by for everyone, and it's always been that way. With this new area, with this whole section being part of the historic district, coming from you folks, coming from the historic commission, is there anything you would need to know before we do things in that area? And
So
if you say,
And Ellie, over to you.
I can speak to this. So the revisions we added to the bylaw concerning the gravestones that we've discussed at our last meeting were that, and I can read it to you, that this is under the exclusions section, so meaning exempt from review. So this work would not require any approval or review, and that is the addition of new gravestones or monuments within existing cemeteries, graveyards, or burial grounds, so long as they do not alter existing gravestones or monuments. So any kind of regular work, or you've said that even within the Dole burial ground, there are still open plots, I believe, that are owned by families. So any kind of new monuments or new buildings or new graves that are added to that burial ground would not need approval by a local historic district commission. What would need approval, I believe, is if any of the existing historic gravestones needed to or were, I do not ever see this happening, but I'm just going to throw it out there, were proposed to be demolished, for instance, if they wanted to be knocked down for some reason. That's what this protects against. So for practical purposes, ongoing activity at the Evergreen Cemetery, including the Dole Pasture Burial Ground, are not restricted or regulated. Unless those, say, historic markers are proposed to be altered in some way.
well, sometimes we have to repair a stone.
Right.
They might fall over and need to be repaired. Is that something the historic commission would want to oversee? It's not a demolishment or a change.
Sure. Yeah. So repairs fund. Historic district commissions do not regulate repair in kind. So if it's regular maintenance or kind of repair work to the gravestones that does not change the material or kind of construction method of those stones, it does not need to be overseen. So standing them back up, for instance, does not. That tends to be more regulated in communities by a graveyard commission, which I don't believe Newbury has, or cemetery commission. So I know, unless it's, say, if a stone were proposed to be replaced from, I don't know, let's say granite to concrete, that would be something that the historic district would want to review. But I think actually even in this case, then even a replacement of a stone with a stone that is exactly the same essentially does not require review.
I would say also, if you decide to go in and replace the wrought iron fence with a 9-foot high brick wall, we'd probably like to know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that might be true.
It's a visual thing, really, is what we're interested in on what it looks like.
Yeah.
And I know you're not going to do that, but I mean that type of alteration.
That type of example. Okay, sure.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay,
that's
is
over
that
the top, right?
Bill, does that answer the question okay? Does that answer your question?
Yes. Yeah.
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 I think that the appropriate amendments were put in so as not to disrupt the ongoing function of the gravesite as a gravesite.
Okay.
As well.
Well,
Good.
also being included in the local historic district, I think gives you ability to go out and get grants for doing work in there too. So I think that's a use. I mean, that's one of the reasons where we were looking at some of the cemeteries too, because bringing it into the local historic district, it gives you some opportunities you might not have now.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good point. For example, the old stone wall around it from time to time will need attention. Okay, right. So if there's no other business, let's see if we can get together fairly soon after the inquiry. Should
Before
so
we move on to kind of
yeah,
setting that up, because I agree, I think setting up a quick Zoom post public hearing would be a great way to kind of reconnect and reconvene and discuss
agreed.
for next steps. But is everyone feeling comfortable and ready for next week's public hearing? Feel confident in being able to answer questions, field questions about the impact of a historic district on, say, property values, or why it's a positive, net positive for a community. Answering proposal questions of what if I want to do X to my house, that kind of thing. Okay, just want to
Yeah,
open up the field
yeah,
for any questions now.
Who is
I-
going to do the presentation? Is it Lon? Lon, you're going to do the presentation?
I
I
could,
think
yeah, one of the
I-
three of us.
I think we'll. I mean, I'll do the introduction. So we introduce all the members of the committee who are there and the sort of start of the background. And then Lon can take over with the PowerPoint bit itself, and then we open up with the Q&A. I mean,
Yeah, the Q&A, everybody participates in.
every year, but there has to be
Yeah.
some order in terms of if there is in limitation of people speaking, so many minutes, because I think we've allowed for about an hour and a half. Is that right? I can't remember.
I think that seems accurate.
And just in case, but quite frankly, if all the people who are in the area turn up, we've met them all, seen them all, and discussed it. So unless they've been holding back, I think there was a very positive outlook from all of them anyway.
The three reports that I hand delivered, I asked the question outright, you're still backing this, you still want to be included, and so on. And all three of them said yes.
Yeah. And
they're more of a fringe group that aren't
Yeah,
that involved in the day-to-day thing, like some of the owners are.
yes, and certainly I got the same from the ones I delivered, including the new owner of the Seddon Tavern as well.
Oh, good.
So, and in fact, he suggests that was one of the reasons why they chose the area to live in, because of the view onto the green and the surrounding buildings. So I feel to answer your question, Ellie, I feel pretty good that we should have a positive view, certainly from all those residents in the area attending.
Good. That's super important. And then encourage everyone to go to town meeting. Please,
Yeah.
please,
Yeah.
And then,
please be there to vote.
well, I think we will put that as the final slide.
Yeah, call to action.
Is vote, and the when it is May the 5th, I think, or whatever, we'll have that date in bold letters.
Okay,
It's very
that would be good.
I'm also willing, as Steve Kenny is too, who lives on at 280. I believe it's 280 High Road. I'm willing to go to the dump and hand out, please come to town meeting and vote on this. I'm willing to do that on multiple days if I need to.
That would be good, because it comes down to the people who are in the room voting, right? It's
Yeah.
that's what counts. So getting as many people who we know are proponents of this in the room as possible, friends, neighbors. Yeah.
And also we'll remind them on the slide, it is a 2/3
right. That's
requirement
significant.
that has to pass as
How
well.
far
which is-
down on the agenda are we, Robin? We're probably going to be quite a ways down.
We're an additional
should-
business. Oh, you mean, sorry, at the town meeting. Sorry,
meeting.
I thought you meant today.
So small-minded.
I have no idea where we are in town warrant meeting.
Okay. I'm just
I don't know
wondering
whether it's been
because
published yet.
because once you start getting done with the reason that people came, they start
They
wandering
leave.
out the door.
Sure.
And it would be to our advantage to have a full.
I'll
I
have a
haven't
word.
seen the agenda yet on the, I haven't seen it on the town
I'd look
website.
for it, and then when I tried to download it, it didn't download. So
Okay.
yeah,
I'll inquire with the select board because basically I think it should be higher up the list because our proposal doesn't cost the town any money, and most things that go on the agenda for town meetings are all involve money. So I would think they want to, from a positive standpoint, have some good news.
yeah.
So, the
Okay.
website says that they have the last day to post the town warrant is April 28th, so I'm not entirely sure it's available yet.
No, I don't think it is, but okay.
One question, does anyone know if we have to take or post minutes from the public hearing?
Uh,
Yeah, I'd be willing to do that, Ellie, if we,
Okay.
yeah,
If needed.
yeah.
I will reach out to Joy at the town and ask her just to confirm, because I know it will be live.
yeah, it will. Well, it
It'll be
says
on TV as well as in person. But I'm not actually sure if public hearings have to have the same kind of minutes as our regular meetings do. So
And I'm guessing it'll be also not just live, but recorded and then be available on the website.
it should be, yeah. IT, Jonathan from IT will be there on Monday to help coordinate the broadcasting. So that's a question for him, but I'm fairly certain it will be.
I'll take them anyway.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. The final report says, following public hearing, the study committee will prepare a final report incorporating comments and recommendations, right? So, which does mean we have to have it properly minuted. Hello?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. So we do have to.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, any QR code that we put together, I mean, linking to that, we would always link it to the most updated version. Because just because we make changes to the final report doesn't necessarily mean we'll be making changes to the wording in the warrant.
Right. That's a good point. Is if it's just a couple of comments of people saying like this is great or you misspelled my name wrong, sort of things. Those are comments that we can certainly add to the study report and submit to MHC for their final, because that's part of this as well, is we have to resubmit, I believe, or at least give a copy of the study report to Massachusetts Historical Commission. But if there are no changes to the bylaw or to the boundary or to the substance of the historic commission, local historic district commission, then I think that will be okay for being on town warrant. Just hoping, let's hope that our public outreach to this point has been enough to keep this hurtling towards the finish line and not have to wait another 12 months.
So also, if I, when I go to the dump to hand out, I think a QR code, please come to town meeting. Here's what we're trying to do. Just give a little blurb and then a QR code on that. I think that would be helpful to, in case people say, oh, I've never heard of this before and, want to read the report.
QR code takes 10 seconds to generate.
Great.
Right.
Cool. And I'm uploading, after this meeting, I will upload the most current recent report to the website as well, Lon, so that is where you can send the QR code is directly to the Newbury website.
Right.
Right.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Right.
Okay. Very good. Excellent. Okay. So any other comments?
Well, only comment, Robin, you and I need to get together to go over the
PowerPoint
presentation. Joy, you can join us, and then whatever changes we make, we'll send out to the group.
What kind of food are you serving?
Food? When? At the hearing?
Bill, yes, you wanted to add
Well,
something.
does the town of Newbury have a CPA, a citizen preservation account?
No. No, we've tried. No, we've tried. You mean the
Community Preservation Act?
Surcharge on the property tax?
We've tried. We've tried. Newbury is a skinflint. That's why this is so good. Is what we're providing is free. You know, it's not costing the town anything.
Well, I asked that because I might put in for a grant from, to have some things done in the old section of the cemetery. However, the town of Newbury doesn't have those.
No, but you could go to the Cultural Council. The Cultural Council has grants.
Massachusetts Cultural Council?
No, the Newbury Cultural Council. Yeah, they have grants.
There's also Massachusetts Cultural Council.
Okay.
I think they would refer it to the Massachusetts Cultural Council.
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
So that would be your route in. But yes, something to follow up afterwards.
Sure. Okay, that answers my question. I think Newbury should try to get that CPA though. It's quite.
We've tried. I know we've tried.
Quite beneficial.
But Newbury is made up of a large percentage of real estate agents who don't want that to go through.
Well, a lot of people, they pay property tax. And then now to be another surcharge on top of the property tax, I can understand.
Yeah.
It doesn't look good.
Yeah.
But at any rate.
They're really useful. I ended up with one in another group I'm in. I've got one of these grants for putting in 3 pollinator gardens in Newburyport. And real easy to get. It's real easy to put these together and then they get approved in mass. And all you have to do is file your paperwork. It's real easy.
We lost Robin.
Thanks.
But we got to have one. We don't have one.
All right. I guess we kind of need Robin here, but can we meet next week potentially at some point to kind of do it could be a brief meeting to talk about next steps after the public hearing?
Yeah.
Does that work for everyone? Sometime? If so, when?
Oh, good luck. Okay. Let's see. What's a good day?
If not next week, sometime the following week. And then I think we're kind of out of.
Oh yeah, the week of the 20th for me is much better than next week. It looks like I have there's one day here I have 4 meetings, so.
Okay. All right. The only day I'm able to meet the week of the 20th is the 23rd.
23rd is good for me.
I'm very open on the 23rd, so there's one of us.
Yep, me too.
Okay.
So what morning, afternoon? Doesn't matter.
Same time? So 11 o'clock work?
11 o'clock.
Robin?
He is not on meeting. I don't know. We lost him a couple minutes ago. Say Thursday, April 23rd.
11 a.m.
Yep, on Zoom.
I'm in.
For a debrief and next steps.
Yeah, and also by then we'll definitely have we'll have the results, or we'll know what happened in the hearing too, and figure out how we're going to incorporate anything in. Okay.
Okay, well, in the absence of our fearless leader, any further business?
Vice President.
All right. So
I'll let Robin know. Joy, do you want to get together with Robin and I when we're doing adding the new stuff into the PowerPoint, or do you just want to?
That would be a quorum.
Comment on it.
That would be a quorum.
Good point.
Yeah, so I can't.
Open meeting laws are fun. Yes.
Yeah, no, I can't.
Okay.
But anyway,
good point.
So no further business. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Thank you all for coming. We appreciate your feedback. I appreciate everyone's hard work, and we will hopefully see everyone on Monday evening at 6:30.